The coal-colored duck event is coming. Why do I say that? Well, the Fed, yes, that Fed has negative capital, which means they are broke. When GAAP is used, which is generally accepted, accounting principles are applied to the Fed's books. They are broke. Let's dive deeper and see if that coal-colored duck can hold its breath. Hey there, everyone. So guess what? Last week, the Federal Reserve, you know, the big bank in charge of money stuff, was holding on to a massive $7 trillion worth of debt stuff they bought when interest rates were super low. But here's the funny part. When new bonds are out there with higher interest rates, the old low rate ones become less cool. Imagine it like this. It's like having an old phone when the new one comes out. Suddenly, everyone wants the new, shiny one. Now, Silicon Valley Bank, a bank you might not have heard of, had this big bond collection worth $21 billion. These bonds were making less than 2% interest, but new bonds were making double that. So, the bank decided to sell their old bonds, but they lost $1.8 billion in the process. Ouch. Losing money like that hurts their bank account, and that made their customers, especially those with more than $250,000 in the bank, very worried. People started pulling out their money super fast, like a big bum rush to the bank's door. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC, the superhero of the banking world, had to step in and take control of the bank. Keep in mind, Silicon Valley Bank might sound big, but it's like a little guppy compared to the huge Federal Reserve. When the bank failed, it had $212 billion in stuff, but the Federal Reserve had a whopping $7 trillion in assets. Just one of the Fed's parts, the New York Fed, is 18 times bigger than Silicon Valley Bank. Now, let's talk about the numbers. The New York Fed, the biggest of all the Fed's parts, had $4 trillion in stuff and $3 trillion in deposits. Sounds like a lot, right? Well, here's a fun fact. Both the Fed and the New York Fed have negative money when you look at it in a certain way. We won't get too deep into that. And if interest rates keep going up because of prices going higher, inflation, it could get even worse. As of December 2023, the Fed's negative money was $82 billion, and New York Fed's part of that was $70 billion, which is a big chunk. Plus, there's another $1 trillion in unrealized losses on the Fed's stuff that's not doing so good. Imagine losing money on something you bought and haven't even sold yet. That's the Fed's little situation there. So, to sum it up, big banks, like the Federal Reserve, have a lot of money and things they own. But sometimes they can lose money, just like when you buy something and it loses its value. It's all a big financial roller coaster. I'll keep you all in the know with more on that coal-colored duck I mentioned. Take care.